Now we're going to move on to our trailers. And first one being the newest Venom 3 trailer, Venom The Last Dance. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, this movie's coming out, I think
not
December, October. Shit, I didn't write the release date.
Because
I think December actually.
Craven's coming out in December, I think, or November. I think this comes out before Craven.
I thought it came out after Craven, but I think you could be right. It might be October.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
But yeah, this trailer, we've had a couple of other trailers before. They've shown, Eddie and
October 25th.
Oh, okay. So very, very soon, a month from now. And so the last trailers have shown Eddie and Venom and this kind of like last hurrah. And they've shown that there's, be like other kind of symbiote beings that are coming to Earth and attacking them. But we kind of got a lot of the context around that this time around. I think there's three main things that were revealed in this trailer that I don't think I was totally expecting. I think the biggest one being though is they fully showed Knull in this trailer and kind of confirmed that he's the big bad villain of it.
Which context for anybody who doesn't know who Knull is. Knull is is the king of the symbiotes on the world that they're all from. He's the creator. And if you want to tie this into Marvel, the Necro sword that Gore the God Butcher had in Thor Love and Thunder is supposed to be from
he made it.
Knull.
Right. He took it from Knull after after he was incapacitated. Also, I think they're going to go with this route in the story, but it seems like in the comics they mentioned that basically like the symbiote hive mind came to Earth like back in like the Viking era, and Thor like killed like the symbiote there, which like broke the connection to Knull, like from Knull to the other symbiotes. And like since then, the symbiotes like scattered over the universe and basically began like pairing with other hosts and like realizing and learning about the light instead of like the darkness that Knull kind of envelops himself with. And so they rebelled against him and like trapped him inside of this artificial planet. And so I think that's the route, and that like that maybe he's broken out of this like cage that he's been put in, and now he's like running towards and like getting revenge on his symbiotes that he created. But like Knull has an insanely cool backstory.
Well, and just before we do his backstory,
sure,
I would just like to mention, if that's true, which by the way, I don't think they're gonna work in Thor.
No. But I think they'll work in the fact that he was like rebelled against by the symbiotes. I think that'll be true.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. But then again, like I'd be curious if that's true, because if I'm not mistaken, in the first movie, the symbiote that was played by Riz Ahmed,
I think it was Riot, right?
Riot. Was it Riot? Yeah, I think it might have been Riot.
I think so.
He was gonna go back into space to like bring the symbiotes home, or like wasn't that the case?
I mean, maybe there's still some. I don't know if it was, because like I've heard people talk in recent days about how like the addition of Knull recontextualizes Riot and how he was just running from Knull in the first movie, essentially, and like trying to find a new home. I don't fully remember the first movie incredibly well, so you'll have to just confirm some things for us.
Yeah, I'll try to read, but like I just want to say everything that you had said prior about like if that is the case,
right?
The amount of lore and backstory and potential like.
There's just so much lore around him. Yeah.
Well, the lore, the potential lore, the idea of like this celestial kind of like, not celestial, but
I mean, in a sense,
galactic story. And we're talking about this in Venom 3, like the last movie, is just kind of insane you look at the first two movies, like how
well, especially the second
going
one.
into this.
I think the second one doesn't relate at all. Unfortunately, it's like basically Carnage is like a spawn of Venom. It's not even. It doesn't relate to this story at all.
Right.
So you could I think you could literally go from 1 to 3 in a sense if you wanted to. But yeah, I getting into like you mentioned the Celestial thing, like that is I think the craziest part of his backstory is that he was like I guess in the comics like the universe that currently exists is the 7th iteration of the cosmos, and he was a being that was like left over from the 6th iteration of the cosmos, and like the Celestials came to him and like offered Knull like the position of King in Black, and he like looks over the Celestials' creations, but instead he like killed one of the Celestials, and they like imprisoned him, and so the Celestial head, which is super cool that he chopped off, is actually the Nowhere, like the thing that like the Guardians live in. And but like that's apparently like what Knull used to create the symbiotes was this like Celestial head. So there's I don't know, it's just like there's an insane amount of lore that they can pull from and like make Knull an incredibly cool villain.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Sure they can't use all of it, but I think even using like a quarter of it is enough to make him like incredibly cool. And I just think it's exciting. Like I think it's exciting when you get like a high scale villain, like, you know, somebody who can cause like destruction to planets, like in any kind of movie. Although I am very curious and skeptical how they would be able to kill Knull. Like how Venom and like, does he have any allies? Well, I don't know.
Okay, so 2 things. First of all, Riot's plan was to take a ship to bring symbiotes to Earth to inhabit them and like.
But maybe it was like the other symbiotes who were running.
Potentially, but at the end of the day, it was to bring the symbiotes here so that they could like take over their bodies, and all that stuff. Right. But it seemed like it was a more nefarious thing.
Like it was a more self-preserving, right?
But I don't know. Second thing, regarding how they kill him. The thing is, I'm dubious to the fact that like we'll actually see Knull like come to Earth.
Really? You don't think there's gonna be like a full on? Do you think they go to space? I mean, like do you think Venom goes to? I don't know.
He
because that would be very disappointing. Because like not to cut you off, but like there was a quote from like the creators of Knull. And like apparently like they didn't even know this character was in it, and they like, you know, contacted Sony got in contact with them. They were able to get a script of Venom: The Last Dance, and their quote was, "I'll say this is so much bigger and so much more ambitious than you can imagine, and Knull, holy shit, that's how you treat a king." So it sounds like it sounds, I don't know, maybe they were paid to say that, maybe they're paid, I don't know, who knows. But if it is true, then like it sounds like a very big role. I would be surprised if they just keep him in one spot the entire movie.
I'm just that's just what I get nervous about.
Sure.
It might not be, it might be like somehow this is the first thought that comes to my head. We'll get all the symbiotes together and we'll kill Dad together. Like we'll all rise up together and kill Dad. I don't know.
But haven't both Riot and Carnage been killed? Like, didn't they fully die?
Well, there's other symbiotes.
Sure. Yeah, there is. But what if this is what if this is the team up movie that we've all been expecting, where we get Morbius and Vulture and
if this is
and Kraven.
if that was the ambition thing, I'll well, you're not gonna get Kraven.
No, not yet. Yeah, no. You're right. Yeah,
but I mean that would be stupid,
ridiculous. It would make me hate this movie for sure. But yeah,
I hope it's like, look, I'll take the ambition, because I think like I've not loved any of the Venom movies. I don't hate them, but I just like they're pretty like I'm fine. Like they're okay.
They're just boring.
It'd be cool to like. It's kind of a bummer that like this kind of story is something that we get as the last one.
But it does feel like a last story, you know.
And we have been like they're still reiterating like, you know, as long as they're together, like the world's gonna end. So obviously something about them two being together is causing an issue of some kind.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be the last movie with Tom Hardy, and Venom will move on to a different host.
Right.
Maybe Venom goes on just with a different person. Maybe this is the last movie. I don't know.
Those were the other two things I was going to mention, was that like there seems to be something that like Knull needs specifically from Venom and Eddie, which I have no idea what that could be. I don't know what key they have, but they also, it also like the trailer has a very heavy vibe of like, we have to make this sacrifice, and this is like the end of the road for us. Like it's over after this. And I think that's true. I don't think they're misleading us. I think it's this is the end of the road for Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I hope it's not misleading. But
it better not be.
Who knows? By the way, regarding this trailer, I love Venom in Las Vegas.
Yeah. No, it's a fun time. Yeah.
He's
knocking people out.
And he's like, I feel like all my worries and all my problems are going away. And then to end it with, Eddie, I need more money. So good.
Yeah, I mean, in other trailers too, we've seen like him dancing with like Mrs. Chen in Las Vegas, and like that. It seems like we're having some fun, but also keeping it like a really impactful last story for Venom. So the trailers are actually like, the more trailers that come out, the more hopeful I am for this, because the first one I was like, it's fine. Like it's a fine trailer. But now, I keep getting more excited. So I'll be seeing it October 25th.
Yeah. Crazy that these movies keep coming out in like around October, because the last one came out around October.
I mean, that
November
makes sense
too.
For Venom, you know, it's a dark character.
Yeah.